Hello, and welcome to Pro Luxury Exhibitions. This channel is all about luxury. If you love luxury things, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also turn on the notification bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our luxury videos. In today's video, we'll dig deep into the matter that how to invest in yourself. So let's dig into the tips. Everybody has an alternate thought of what abundance is. For a few, it implies possessing property. For other people, it implies having worthwhile speculations. Building wealth might appear to be some degree unimaginable. However, it is entirely straightforward. Indeed, you don't need to acquire six figures to transform this fantasy into a reality. Regardless of how old you will be, you can gather abundance insofar not settled. Number 1. Increment your income, regardless of whether you're simply beginning or on the move. Having different revenue streams is the most principal step to building riches. Here's a portion of the manners in which you can expand your pay and construct abundance quickly. Agonizing over whether your abundance is developed by 6% or 8% each year will not make any difference so much if you can't bring insufficient cash to dependably save and contribute every month. For example, with the rise of the web, you can make an online-based business. Automated revenue can build your profit without going through preparing or seek after advanced education. Normal ways individuals acquire automated revenue incorporate sites, powerhouse advertising via web-based media, and YouTube channels. While those undertakings will surely require time and work to get fully operational, they can pay off enormously and give you a wellspring of aloof profit. Number 2. Adventure into business. The most well-off individuals on the planet are not workers but rather business originators. Business venture satisfies two parts of abundance building: pay and exceptional yields on amassed riches. Accordingly, if you have a business thought that can expand your pay, begin. It doesn't need to be an enormous business. You can begin an independent venture and offer the administrations you're acceptable at. In case you're occupied with different things, you can recruit individuals to maintain the business for you. An entrepreneur with 5 to 10 years of involvement procures a normal of $70,000 each year. Entrepreneurs with 10 to 20 years of involvement bring home around $72,000 yearly. Number 3. Further develop your range of abilities. There are two different ways you can develop your pay and interest in returns. You can either bring down your cost or increment your pay. A great many people center around the first, failing to remember the last mentioned. You can expand your pay by sharpening your range of abilities. This could incorporate getting a degree, an MBA, or a unique assignment which would be able to acquire you an advanced and compensation increment. Abilities advancement is the cycle of 1. Recognizing your expertise holes, and 2. Creating and sharpening these abilities. It is significant because your abilities decide your capacity to execute your arrangements with progress. Envision a woodworker attempting to construct a house. An objective accomplishment. Your abilities are your instruments. Number 4. Save more. Setting aside cash is another critical advance in building abundance. When you have sufficient pay to oblige your necessities, it's an ideal opportunity to save. Keep in mind, saving limited quantities routinely mixtures to considerable abundance after some time. Setting aside cash ought to be a propensity for each individual since adolescence. When you choose to set aside cash, it's more considerable on the occasions when you can maintain your own business. With the multi-day investment funds rule, you concede all unimportant buys and hasty purchase for 30 days. Rather than spending your cash on something you probably won't require, you will require 30 days to mull over everything. Toward the finish of this multi-day time, on the off chance that you need to make that buy, go ahead and let it all out. Number 5. Make a budget. A financial plan is your monetary agreement with use gauges versus your pay. A financial plan is a significant apparatus in abundance creation. It gives you a perspective on your use of the things you can slice on to expand your investment funds. Quite possibly, the most well-known and compelling planning method is the 50-30-20 standard. This technique proposes that half of your pay go to basics, similar to food, lease, and medical services. 30% allotment goes to trivial things like shopping and extravagance exercises. The excess 20% is the main distribution, which ought to go into investing funds. The 70-30% principle in finance assists numerous with spending, save and put resources into the since quite a while ago run. The standard is basic. Take your month-to-month salary and separate it by 70% for cost, 20% reserve funds, obligation, and 10% cause or speculation retirement. Number 6, live below your means. Overspending can significantly affect your capacity to fabricate abundance. Cut spending on superfluous things like eating out, purchasing fashionable garments, and customary getaways. While being economical can be exhausting and unacceptable, you'll accumulate abundance over the long haul and think that it's fulfilling. Begin couponing and set aside cash at the supermarket and purchase en masse to get things less expensive. Scale back into a more modest loft or home if necessary and auction things you don't require for additional cash. At the point when you decide your necessities versus your needs, you begin living beneath your means by being parsimonious with your spending. Number 7, invest. Whenever you've saved a month-to-month saving objective, it's an ideal opportunity to contribute. At the point when you put away your cash, it offers you more cash as a trade-off. Putting your pay in the financial exchange and inland and retirement accounts like a 401k or a Roth IRA can assemble you huge abundance after some time. There's a straightforward stunt that permits you to rapidly gauge where you can twofold your cash. It's known as the Rule of 72. The guideline is basic. Separation 72 by the yearly pace of return to figure what amount of time it will require to twofold your cash. You can bring in cash when your speculations expand in esteem. For instance, a financial exchange's cost will not remain a similar cost everlasting in a perfect world. The organization develops and brings in cash, and it turns out to be more significant in general. Number 8, financing in real estate. Putting resources into land speculation confides in allows you an opportunity to benefit from the land business without direct contribution. REITs are land organization stock engaged with purchasing and selling properties. Home loan organizations additionally fall into this class. Each time the organization's worth expands, you acquire also. REITs brag of extremely high profits, which you can reinvest for additional profits. Real estate advancement quite often needs outside financing. It's not useful and may not be beneficial to foster just the properties you can stand to buy alone, so you'll have to realize where you will get additional cash to work with for property buy, arranging, development, and related costs. Number 9, begin making money by side hustles. Do you have a pastime or ability? Provided that this is true, you could do it as a side gig and acquire an extra $5,000 or $50,000 or more like an afterthought to supplement your everyday employment and increment your general pay. Assume somebody makes $40,000 each year after charge and has cost of $30,000 each year. The solitary leaves her with $10,000 each year to save and contribute and take care of obligations. On the off chance that you save an extra $5,000 each year and contribute it at simply 7% each year, you'll have $100,000 extra in your portfolio in 15 years after adapting to swelling. Number 10, have a healthy focus. On the off chance that you experience huge difficulties centering at present, you shouldn't attempt to labor for an hour in a row. Assemble your degree of concentration continuously. Initial 14 days, take a stab at centering for 20 minutes, enjoy a 5-minute reprieve, then at that point go once more. In 2 months, you ought to have the option to remain on track for an hour and complete a lot of things. Having a solid center implies that you ought to be sufficiently dynamic to center in the everyday terms of life, and building abundance needs your total core interest. Studies have discovered that having breakfast might work on transient memory and consideration. Understudies who eat it will, in general, perform better compared to the individuals who don't. Food sources at the highest point of scientists' mind fuel list incorporates high fiber, entire grains, dairy, and natural products. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe to our channel and comment "I subscribe." I will personally reply to your comments. Stay tuned for some upcoming amazing luxury videos.